Okay, y'all need to learn how to chart. First and foremost, let's go to the daily chart because I think it's good to look at that and understand where buyers have stepped in. I've said this time and time again. Look at all these levels. Let's just get rid of all levels because who gives a shit? Okay, so you've seen that this is getting defended at that 675.89 area, right? So we got one layer of evidence that there's some buyer there that's really strong. And then there's another range at that 677. That's actually your pull wall right now. So cool. Buyers have stepped in how many times? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, and now 9 times. If you were rolling puts or buying puts at 677, 76, 74, whatever this number is, I think you should recheck where you want to be and how you're positioned here because clearly buyers have stepped in here, right? So I was looking for the 676 area to be tagged before a reversal happens, and that's exactly what we got based on exactly what I'm showing you on the daily chart. And I'm not saying it's not going to go lower. It could definitely happen, right? You have a lot of imbalances below this that still need to be addressed, especially at that 664 level. But I don't want to buy any puts right now because the risk and reward for me is not there. Cool. So what do we get today, right? We got exactly that tag at what? The 676, 675 area that I just marked on the daily chart. Nothing crazy here. Nothing too different than what I talk about all the time. There's liquidity here. There's buyers that have stepped in here, as we saw multiple times over the last 6 months. So what was I saying this morning? I was like, look, I think it's more likely that you're going to go down to this 676 area and retest those buyers if they're still there. Long story short, they still are there or were there. I don't know if they're still there now, but they definitely were there today. And what we got an explosive move up from that into this layer of liquidity, which coincidentally is another level that I can mark, right? So if I go back, where are the biggest sellers? Hold on, let me just take that out and take this away and draw a little line here. Where the biggest amount of sellers, they're up here at 680 area, right? Because we saw that it got sold off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times so far, right? So fewer sellers than there are buyers. That ultimately is really where I'm trying to get to. And what did we get? We got exactly in that range, undercut those sellers to make sure that we swap them out and then reverse it down, right? So you basically effectively had like a $5 range or $6 range to play with today. And so that's all I was looking for at the end of the day. I was like, look, they're going to tag this 675, 676 area because I know that's where buyers have stepped in. Retest them to make sure that they're still there and then reverse up. And that's exactly what I got. So while everyone was chasing puts at this stupid ass fucking level, I was buying calls and rolling them for the next couple of days, which ended up still becoming profitable. Some of the calls ran 100%. Some of them went 40%, 30%. And I'm happy with the win. I'm not waiting for like a 10x. I'm taking the win at 100%, 40%, whatever it is, right? Especially if I'm rolling stuff. And when I'm rolling calls or puts or whatever it is, I'm looking for like I'm deploying like 10, 20K into it to make sure that I can capture the most upside and get to the free runners that I want. So if I deploy $10,000 and I got, let's say 40 contracts and I got a 40% gain, I'm going to leave like 4 to 8 contracts in there just to make sure that I can cover any other upside that I might have. And if they die, great. I'm happy with that too, because I've made the money on the flip side, right? So that's exactly what I was looking for in the reversal. And we kind of got that story today, exactly as I said, right? I drew that chart early in the morning and we got exactly that. So that's how I play it. And similar things have happened yesterday and the day before. We tagged one pocket of liquidity, undercut it, and then went up. Same thing happened yesterday. We tagged this level here, which is another historical level. If you look back, that was previous resistance, if you want to call it that. Undercut and ripped up. I talk about this all the time. This is not hard. This is not rocket science. It's not supposed to be. Trading is, to me at least, one of the easiest things in the world. Anyone can learn it. And if I'm doing this with zero skill in trading or zero knowledge of trading, I don't have 20 years of experience here, I think you can do this and you can learn this really fast, right? And again, to recap, all I did was just mark out the levels where buyers have stepped in, which is at that 675, 676 area, where sellers have stepped in at that 680 area. And I just played both reversals, right? And I'm making a lot of money on those two scenarios. So that's what I was looking for. And if it continues to dump, which it might, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we typically don't end red on a Friday. You're likely going to tag this imbalance right at 674 if that happens. Maybe you'll tag this layer support at 668. I don't know. You have another level up here, and like we can mark this up all day and every day, but I'm just looking for where there's relative equal highs, relative equal lows, and marking those as levels, right? So yes, the chart looks a bit messy, but ultimately it does work out. And another thing you could do is on the 15-minute chart, this is what I drew out this morning, when we got this huge pop and then a sell off, I just target the middle of the imbalance because I know that's what they're going to rate afterwards. And we got that. We undercut them on the upside and then, flip down. So that's another trick you can use if you wanted to. But again, it's not supposed to be rocket science. It's not hard. If I could do it, you could do it 100%. Good luck.